because the world wants to know what we think about other things, I think. My name is Andrew Miller, and today on TNT, we're going to discuss about pain and failure. Good morning, everyone. Nondas, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, I'm Nondas. I'm from Brasilia, 27 years old. I work as a personal training. I'm a nutritionist student. I love to play video games, and I want to become host here, and I'm learning through my mistakes.
That's it. That's the spirit. Karina, your turn.
Yeah, I'm Karina. I'm from São Paulo. I'm 38 years old. I'm a social media analyst. I'm living in Cabo Frio, just me and my little cat. So that's it.
So let's start from the first question, then you can develop the conversation, and shaping and create other question. How would you define pain and failure? Let's start from the definition. I think it's nice. Karina, you can start.
Yeah. So pain could be different kinds of, we have different kinds of pain, I guess. The physical pain and the emotional pain. I think that the emotional pain, it's worst because we need some mental intelligence to lead with this, and failure, like the videos, the guy from the video said, when we have some expectation with something and this doesn't happen, we have a little such a failure, I guess. I don't know if I explain it exactly, if everyone could understand.
Yeah, that's okay.
My point of view. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Nice. How about you, Nondas? What do you think about this question?
So for me, pain, when something you're not prepared happen, so it makes, normally it can hurt you, and when you're not ready for do something, when you were in a trouble or make mistakes, or I don't know, but when something happen and we are not prepared. And failure, when you try do something and it doesn't work. So for me, that's it.
Nice. Guys, we brought Bruno from other side. Can you introduce yourself, Bruna, and answer the first question, please?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Bruna. Nice to meet you, Karina. Welcome to TNT. I live in São Paulo. I work as an English teacher and also as a community manager here on TNT. I'm also a hostess here, just like Engel and Nondas. My meetings are on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. at the same time, but tomorrow. Well, I think I will go, I will say something a bit different from what Nonda said. I think failure is not just about not working, but it's about not working the way we expected from my perspective, So it can be not working, but also not the way we were expecting, And pain is when difficult one too. Maybe when something that happened the way we didn't expect it, and it hurt, because we were expecting something else and it didn't happen that way. I think that's it.
Nice.
It's like
very
a feeling when it didn't happen the way we expected.
Yeah, very good point. Amazing, because let's see pain from the physical, meaning, like pain, something that you do not expect it. Your body do not expect, as natural or something like that. So at the first moment, feel pain. And basically, if you transfer this meaning to the other side of the concept that, you know, the expectation that you have in life is the same, you know, and failure is something that we try to name the things that you do not work like we, you know, at least supposed to expect. And I would define, you know, the same way Bruno did. I mean, basically about expectation, even because, you know, I was saying about physical meaning, but a lot of people feel pain without, you know, being touched, like, you know, without feeling physical pain. So that pretty much means that you are, you know, in a very high standard expectation of yourself or some process. And then you consider that you fail. That's the magic. Here we work on review concepts, okay? Review all concepts. That's the way we do here. So this is a very special question because I expect more people here, but yeah, it's my curiosity about the second one. Is learning English a painful process for you? Somehow, I don't know. Nondas, you can go first.
Good question for the ending of this meeting. Good question. And
yeah, we'll repeat.
Yeah. So for me, it was in the past, but now it's not, because it's a little bit, but it's good now. I enjoy to learn English. I enjoy to make mistakes in English and learn about, because Bruno said one interesting about expectations, and I really believe that failure is about expectations. I agree with him with her, because normally when you start to learn English, you have a lot of noisy on the internet, or you learn in 3 months and things like that, and you create a lot of expectations about English, and normally when you start, it doesn't work. So it's a little painful. But now it worked a different way for me, because I'm more conscious about my learning English, when my English learning, and it's okay for me. So in the past, yes, but now I love to learn English. I love to be here in TNT. So sometimes I'm not so good, but when I'm here, I feel good. So it's great. It's great for me. It's great.
Yeah, that's really nice, because yeah, it's about this noise that you mentioned. It's very interesting, you know, because then, you know, that we have this spread over the internet, a lot of noise about not only English, but all, you know, types of content, like, you know, physical body, workout, money, and be influencer, all you know, so it's fun. It's fun. Everything, yeah. How about you, Karina? And for you, this process?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was very painful because I didn't find the right process, the right way to learn. Since you can find your best way to learn, it's way easier. I think that in 2011, 2012, I don't remember exactly, I found the right teacher to teach me, and since then was flowing, you know. But nowadays I feel a little bit painful process when I am in the meeting with Indian people. Indian people, it's so hard to comprehend, to understand, you know. Sometimes in the work, it's a little bit painful in this way. But just could be a incentivo, how can I say? Sorry, for me to learn, to keep learning.
Like motivation.
I'm sorry.
Like motivation.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Nice. It's yeah. Here, I always say the same, that I think, 80, more or less 80% of the English, or almost all the process, but English especially, because it's something that you need to expose yourself, is based on the emotional stuffs. Like you need you need to learn how to handle this emotion in order to produce the things that you want to do, you want to say. And what is more, interesting is that I've seen it a lot here happen on TNT. A lot of people, because starting kind of freaked out, saying something in English, afraid to commit mistakes, and then they start to develop. And when you see, in the future, and in the session that we have, you see the people looks like other person, like, very proud, speaking English and confident, like, oh, I know that I will commit mistakes, but let's keep it real, commit mistakes because it's the reality. Keep it real. So that's the point here. It's interesting to see, to pay attention to it. Bruna, how about you? Teacher. As a teacher, as a student.
Yeah, nowadays it's not painful anymore, just like you said. I think when I started teaching, I felt this huge pressure to be like, not to make mistakes, and it was impossible. I couldn't make any mistakes because I would be really hard on me, So it was really, really difficult. I use it, just like Karina, I use it to take private classes, and I actually cried in some classes because I felt I wasn't that good, that I needed to study more, and everybody was great, but I wasn't. Oh gosh, it was really bad. But I don't know. I think the expectation thing is something important, and comparison too is a bad thing when it comes to learning. We need to look at our own process, and this may be difficult too, because we want to be like fluent and to know all the words and to be better and better every day. And it was really, really hard. But I think after TNT, I've been feeling much more comfortable, and the pressure is not that big anymore. I just feel better and comfortable and confident. It's amazing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
Same here.
nice to hear that. I really don't know, because I consider that, since I was in Asia, I used to be a guy very involved with English stuffs. So I do not, I can say that I will say that the first moment, I never think about myself speaking English. That's the first point, fluently. But I always was in contact with the language. But, afraid, like, oh, it's hard to learn English, hard to be fluent, it's hard to know a very good vocabulary and so on, and to pronounce the things, and, to create sentences and so on. But, was a kind of, I decided to try, and then I found, very instant, in the same instant I found TNT, so it was a kind of magic for me, a turning point totally, because I start to attending this conversation like we are doing right now. So it was very interesting to see this process, and I consider that I'm making research about learning. That's amazing, because I'm learning from your experience and from mine, my self experience. So my own experience. So it's been a very good research, to see this mistake. How can, how I feel doing some mistake, how the people feel doing other mistakes and so on. These details is, so interesting. And that's it. For me, it's been interesting and funny and not painful anymore. So guys, question number 3. It's an old concept that I know the society spread a lot, but I would like to hear from you, does all learning have to be painful? Like, oh, in the beginning, you will feel like this and you feel like that. It's necessary. Is it necessary? That's the question. Bruna.
I don't think so. That's a difficult question. But like, for example, talking from my experience as a teacher, I know it is important to dedicate and to be in touch with the language and to study and everything. But if it's too painful, and if you want to give up every day, and if it's painful in a way, it's really bad, and it's been making you so bad. I don't think it's something good, like then you can't see any perspective. It's so bad that you're feeling uncomfortable, that you don't trust yourself at any moment, like if they're mainly when we are talking about languages, right? And like learning a new language, if you are at a place that other people don't respect you, or they mock you, in some way, I don't think it's nice. But I think it's part of the process a little bit, Just
you have to decide. You have to decide here.
Just a little bit.
You're in the
Not
middle of the
much.
boundary. I got you.
It's maybe a balance.
How about you, Karine? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it depends. All this process, it's such a painful in the beginning. But for example, me, I'm afraid for driving. I have a license, but I don't drive. I got a therapy to try to understand it. I do a lot of process to break my fear, And my therapist says, it's okay, you tried. If you have afraid, don't work with this. That's okay, no problem. There's a lot of other people that don't drive. Don't worry. But we have to know the limit from ourselves. It is hurt you. That's okay to give up. That's my point of view. Don't be traumatized about it.
You brought
We
very
have
interesting.
to be like a equilibrio.
Yeah, balance.
Balance. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, you brought a very interesting point.
You muted yourself, Angel.
Sometimes I think that the most part of my process in English was kind of interesting and good because I did it without thinking much, like I just start a conversation, very excited, I start to say what I think about the things. So I start to enjoy more than thinking and imagine myself in a big picture, like saying English. I need to speak in English and so on. No, I just want to speak in English right now. And when your therapist says to you, no problem, maybe one day oh man, I will try again, and okay, we'll do, and something like that. Sometimes we try constant a lot of pain. That's natural because we are human beings. So yeah, this is very, very good experience that you brought, Karina. Thanks for sharing. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Londas, your turn.
First of all, I don't drive as well, Karina, if you feel comfortable. And come on, I'm a coach, I'm a personal trainer, so no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. No, I'm just kidding, because I disagree because I don't think that all learning, all all kind of learning have to be painful. I really believe that there is a lot of kinds of learning. You can learn it through your mistakes and inspiration and in a fun way. There's a different ways to learn, and you can learn from mistakes from another people. So it's different. In my point of view, all kinds of learning have to be a challenge, and that's my point. And is it painful or not? It's depend on how you look for the challenge. That's the point, because if you look at for the challenge and think, oh my god, it's so hard, I need to give up, it doesn't work for me, it's hard to keep going. But if you look at for the challenge and think, okay, I'm learning, oh, I'm doing great, I'm learning one more thing today, I make mistakes, but now I know how can I handle with this. So it's different. The point for me is how you look at for the challenge, and all kinds of learning have to be a challenge, as like in the workout. If you don't have challenge, you don't enhance yourself. So it's the same thing, but not to be a painful process. No.
This question is hard to answer because we are here trying to, concentrate and define consciously something that's not conscious. Like, for example, I'm thinking here that the most part of the painful start from because other people, not because you always thinking other people, like you comparing yourself, to other people. Not all, because nobody says something like, because I consider that I'm born, in a bad mood, so I cannot do this or do that. Even, you always compare yourself to others, so will be painful in that terms, from the comparison. So that's it. I totally agree with you on this. I think the way we see the challenge, can change all the things. Like, that's what we are trying to do here, to change some concepts, the way we see things and so on. And this is so interesting because the majority of the people, that start to attend TNT at the first moment think, oh my God, it's a very good environment, it's a very good place and so on. But, what they do not, at least pay attention is that they aren't saying is because of the English, but because of the content. This is the key, because of the content. Speaking, in a very good mood about a different point of view and so on, and improve, also your English. English is just excuses to improve yourself. Let me see here, other question. Oh, question number 9. Let's follow this same thing. How can we deal with pain and failure more comfortably? Bruna.
Okay. You know what? Yesterday during therapy, we were talking about failure and making mistakes, and why is it so hard for me to allow myself to make mistakes, and then she told me something. Of course, she related to some stuff in my life, and then by the end of the session, she told me something like this: you need to allow yourself to feel this feeling, like you need to face failure, you need to be there failing a little bit to understand it's okay, like that, that it's part of the process. And I saw something on Instagram yesterday saying there isn't success without failure. So if you want to do something well, just like the guy on the video said, you need to try and try and try until it gets better and better, because I think it may not be perfect, but if it gets better, that's great. So maybe for me, what I'm trying to understand is that the best way to deal with them, with these feelings or with this stuff, is to leave them, to face them. That's it.
Very, very good. But it hurts you much, like, when you fail, you feel like, oh my God, I'm bad, something like that. It's hard for you.
Yeah, but maybe it's because I'm always avoiding the feeling.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
always
I got
avoiding
you.
it.
Yeah. I'm so sorry because of your therapist, because she doesn't know that you are perfect and do not fail. So, that's, but I think
I wish I were.
he needs to earn money and so on. I got it. I got her. Karina, your turn.
I agree with Bruna. And my therapist do always do the same things, you need to face your failure. Like you can allow us to cry, to watch bad movies, eat chocolate, for just one time. More than 2 weeks is not okay. But for me, it's a good exercise to write down in a paper, whatever, to put my ideas in order and trying to do different the next time. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm thinking how boring, could be a game that you always win. Imagine without challenge, like, playing football and make your goal, that's will be very terrible, because that's pretty much we sometimes we do not pay attention to that, it's something that make us move, that's the challenge. Like, I want to try, I want to to move my body, to overcome that barrier, the boundary, and make some progress in my life. So that's the very interesting point. Thanks, Karina. Nondas, your turn.
For me, two things. And first of all, to understand that the impermanence is the law of the life, and it's impossible to do the perfect things all the time, and you will become more sad, but it will change too, and maybe happiness, but it will change too. And impermanence is the flow of the life. It's normal. All life has different times, different seasons, so it's normal. And second of all, try to live your life, only your life, because it's about expectations and comparison. You said a great thing about comparison, because if I am in the forest alone and live in the forest, I bet that I don't feel uncomfortable to do my things, because I don't have anybody to comparison to compare myself. So it's about comparison, and to pay attention in your behavior, and to pay attention about your social media, and special because Instagram is a good way to do it.
Totally agree.
And if you pay attention in other people and you compare yourself all the time, if you looking for uh, uh, I don't know, I forgot the word, but defeitos in yourself, you will become crazy. So it's hard to live in this way. So for me, to try to live your life, only your life, and to understand that it's okay, it's nice. The life is not perfect, will be sad, and it will change, and you will be happy, and it will change too. It's normal, totally normal. That's the life, and the life is not perfect. Yeah, just
Yeah,
it.
very good, very good. Because we create at least history, good history. You know, that's magical fail a lot because you can, live some life trying, and in the future say, oh, yeah, when I tried to speak in English was very hard because I did that, was like coming a lot of mistakes, and here I am now speaking a lot, and that's it. Let me see the question here. The last question before I bring back the people from the small room. Question number 8: should we never give up on something? What is the turbo limit? This is a hard question. Bruna.
Tough one. I think I think it depends on your goal, like where do you want to be, what do you want to achieve. If it doesn't match with your goals, the things your future or the person you want to be in the future, then I think it's okay to give up, but sometimes like it's better to think some days, for you not to make the wrong choice. Is it really like, are you really giving up because because you changed your goals, or you're giving up on your goals just because the process is too hard? So it's a really difficult question, but I think that's it. Maybe if you decided this is not what you want anymore, and you're not giving up because of the process, then I think it's okay. And the terrible limit, I don't know. What are our limits? I think it depends. Our limits can change. We may never know our limits. We
Yeah,
just
you got a point.
have to
Yeah.
push harder and harder. I don't know.
Okay. Karina, what do you think about this tough question?
Yeah, it's such a hard question. Like my example in driving, I think it's the tolerable limit when it affects your mental health. You have to learn to find your limit for this point. But in other aspects, you can try and accept your exceed your limits, to be comfortable to say, oh, that's okay, I tried. It's something like
Okay.
that. It's a hard question.
Nice.
Sorry.
No, don't say sorry. Here is a void to say sorry. But very, very good point. I think we need to conquer our limits, because making little progress in the day, and nobody, from out of your life saying, oh, you are being weak or something like that, because you don't do this or don't do that. So this is a very silly thing to say, I think you're totally right, because every person, know what, is needed to do something, and and more than it, what you are, doing in terms of emotional and psychological things to really do something, and the people from outside of your life do not know, they do not know what you are thinking and feeling and so on. Nondas, what do you think about this question?
I think that we should give up fast as possible, as soon as possible. I don't agree with, oh, never give up. No, you should to give up. You should to give up fast, because sometimes we do things that doesn't match, doesn't work. I'm here in TNT because I give up different ways to learn English, for example, and now I'm feel good here. And my life, it's about my give ups. I don't know, but I give up a lot of times, and because of that I'm here now. So give up, it's important, important, and it's good, it's not wrong, but we need to know ourselves deeply. I always say it because it's very important. If you don't know yourself deeply, you don't know what is your limit and what make you feel good, what work for you. So it's important to know yourself. And sometimes, and normally, your limit change as well. And because my limit in the past is different, my limit now. So it's important to know yourself deeply and to pay attention in your behavior, in your mind. But I really believe that we need to follow our instinct. Sometimes we know, conscious or not, oh, it doesn't work for me, at least for this time, and I'll try it after. So yeah, but it's important to give up. My point of view, it's important to give up, and that's the life.
Yeah, I really don't know how to answer this question, because I kind of agree with you when it's necessary sometimes to give up. But some people, they born, believing these thoughts that it's not possible. So it's hard to say to people that's not possible and you need to give up when they born feeling like this. This is my point of view. Like, sometimes, like you say, need to feel, it's a kind of natural instinct that we have. But, that sometimes we see that this situation can hurt someone, but from other, talking to other people, you can say that that's possible for that people. So do not give up. Try once, and that's my opinion. But thanks a lot for sharing your point of view. It was really awesome. Guys, welcome back. How was the conversation for you? Anna, please share with us your thoughts.
Really, really, really good. I learned a lot of things, especially from Charles and Jefferson, because we disagree in a lot of points. And
that's the point.
Yes. Me and Jessica, we have the opportunity to see in a different point of view. It was really good. Especially about the learning have to be painful or no. I like this question.
Awesome, thanks a lot. How was for you, Jessica?
Yes, I agree with Ana Paula, right? I forgot, but yes, I agree with her, and it's good because these conversations can go on and on because they are complicated and they challenge us to think, and we can see that we are different, but we can respect and learn from each other. Every subject that I've been participating in TNT has been really good and deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Thanks a lot for sharing. Yeah, I think we pretty much aims to bring this kind of topic, in order to challenge ourselves and also the people that, are talking, because sometimes the people, they do not consider or consider minor or, little question, simple question. Like it's not simple. Sometimes, from the concept, oh my God, you can be very deep. Can be very deep. How was for you, Charles? Let me ask you something, a question.
All
Special
right,
question.
feel free. I know you know my answer all the time, but it's okay. Keep make this question.
Okay. Is learning English a painful process for you?
No, definitively not. I enjoy
good answer.
every way, every process, and for me, it's a good things for myself. I don't know, but like me, I study more hard English when the pandemic it's in begin. Yes,
Okay.
I think that's it. And the pandemic bring for us a lot of bad things, bad feelings.
Okay.
And I think me and a lot of guys choose to do this, put more effort studying English for feel some things that are open for the pandemic. So for me, it's okay.
Very nice.
I could work from home and I could stay together, my family. All right, for me, it's a good challenge. I learn English.
Okay, that's nice to hear that you enjoyed your time.
In complement, stay here with the select group from TNT, like Andrew, Epaminondas, Ana Paula, Bruna, for hosted, and good student like Jefferson, Jessica, Karina. Oh my God, it's a pleasure. All right.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Thanks a lot. I'm thinking about what you say, enjoyed your time, your moment with English during the pandemic. And I'm thinking, I dreamed in a day when I could use the same approach that I use in English, in other fields of my life, like, research and science and so on, enjoy the moment, like, oh my God, this research is so nice. Because it's painful for me, when I cannot, see the results and so on. And this process, so kind of, I wouldn't say painful, but it's crispy, rugged process. Like, oh my God, I know that, I have problem here. But that's what I choose. Jefferson, what was for you, my friend? How was the conversation?
I think it was it's amazing, because I think the pain when hurt you and not so easy to separate a pain. But about the failure, it's very important, because you have a lot of goals. You need to achieve your goals, and you'll never give up about your goals. As I said, I used to say to my students, the situation of Brazil is not so good, but we must fight to have a better country for all. And you never give up about Brazil, even when the Brazil is hurt.
Yeah, even when Brazil is hurting you, your feelings, smashing your dreams, and so on. Okay. Oh, I got your point. And I think I always share the same, that, the more I learn English, more I feel Brazilian, because it's a kind of, I'm a dreamer, a natural dreamer. So I start to see, you know, that we know a lot and we know so much. And, you know, I see that when I'm trying to share some, you know, opinions that I have that I built here, that I have built here, you know, some opinion that I have built here, you know, and I transfer to people and they consider that I'm kind of very smart guy because I think like these are like that. And, you know, and I'm just saying, oh my God, I'm just saying simple things that we used to discuss on TNT. So I start to kind of, oh my God, you know, we used to discuss a very deep topics and extend a lot the conversation. So this is a nice experience to you know, understand this difference between our country and then, and also to understand our position in the world, like, you know, spreading our thoughts, our way of living. You know, I don't want to be other person instead to be Brazilian. That's my point, you know, but a dreamer, I said you. Guys, I shared with you a form to enrich this conversation. As a community, we need to, you know, listen to people. And if you have something to say, to advise us, some topic that you would like to discuss here, you know, feed this feedback to help us. And also the link of the main room. The conversation that we had was very awesome, very open conversation, very tough as well. But that's it. It was a very good conversation. Thanks a lot. And see you in the next week. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much,
Guys.
guys. Thank you.
You-
Bye-bye.